All right. I'm just going to just go right into it. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day, night, or evening. I hope the music is also not loud. I want to get into a few things. Did not know that I would be up here today, okay? But when the ancestors call and when the Most High says move, I'm going to move. Um, I hope y'all are having a wonderful day, night, or evening. If you are new here, definitely join the tribe, join the family. Messages directly from the ethers, and you know this, all right? If you don't know, now you know. To my enlightened lotuses, excuse me, let me get some drink. To my enlightened lotuses that are watching this back later, to my sacred souls, I'm sending y'all love, and I want y'all to send it back. I'm telling y'all I love you, and I want you to say it back, y'all. This message specifically, I want to go into it because I just jumped up here and Spirit was giving me downloads. So basically, this is what it is. It's going to be during these last days of this system, okay? There's going to be a lot of staged events, okay? Global staged events is what I'm hearing in the spirit. And to the people of the divine, the holy people, the people of the holy bloodline, okay? Those that have retrieved their souls, those that are enlightened during this day and time, while it feels like war is taking place, maybe around your area or a state over or a few states over or a few cities over, that danger is not going to come near you. Like biblically in the Bible, when it says, you know, it's basically, it says, no harm is going to come near your tent. You get what I'm saying? Where you dwell. Because when you are chosen, okay, when you choose the path towards your north node, and you're going to see why I'm bringing this up when I get into this a little bit later, or just, you know, I'm just letting it flow. You are protected from certain things, certain things going on in the world, certain wars, certain, you know, genocides, you know, you're protected from that. You get what I'm saying? You're shielded from that. You get what I'm saying? Certain plagues, certain sicknesses, you know, it's what Spirit let me know is that it's going to be a lot of things going on with a whole lot of different, you know, groups and different people out here, but it all comes down to the spiritual realm. What have you done behind the scenes when nobody was watching? Have you been, you know, evil spirited, evil minded, or have you been minding your business, working on yourself, healing yourself, trying to purge yourself spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, connecting with the Most High, connecting to your ancestors, connecting to the divine? Because here in these last days of these global systems rule, okay, it's going to be a lot of bloodshed. It's going to be a lot of people falling. It's going to be a lot of systems falling. Okay, in a sense, I'm hearing in the spirit, the church, the so-called church, the Pope falling. Okay, their queen of finance falling. Okay, all of these were unrighteous rulers. Okay, that was ruling this planet and this plane of existence from a place of wickedness in the 3D. So as that is falling, okay, I hope y'all are with me. As that is falling, okay, I'm channeling. I basically was guided, okay, and I'm gonna be real with you. I was watching you know, something very controversial. It was, you know, it was a lot of gas masks. It was a lot of smoke. It was a lot of people out protesting. And I will leave that where it is, since that is a very sensitive topic. but I was guided to shuffle. And when I shuffled the cards, the compass card, okay, popped out. The compass card. Now 50 could be very significant if you look at the screen. The compass card is here, okay? You already know what a compass is, but I am going to read the passage, okay, where I was drawn to read it because it was just like back to back to back. Spirit was showing me, and I was feeling convicted to get up here and share it with the collective. So definitely like, share, and subscribe as you're coming in, okay? As an enlightened, okay, soul, as a chosen starseed, as a seer, okay, as a prophetess, I am in my north node, okay? I am fully in my north node, and my spiritual eye is completely open. Your north node is basically the truest essence of yourself, okay? In order to get to your north node, you have to go through a lot of spiritual battles. You have to go through a lot of illusions. You got to go through a lot of things in the physical realm, and you cut through those things, okay, to make it to the other side. You're going to have to go through the fire and emerge through the flame, okay? You're going to have to go through a ego death, which is that fire, which is a form of the physical death, okay, in order to get through to the other side, to then be reborn in the spirit. So when they speak about Christ and Christ consciousness, they're speaking about him dying to his flesh, okay? Him sacrificing his flesh in order to regain, okay, to be spiritually cleansed, to be spiritually purged, to regain connection, okay, to his soul, the highest essence of yourself, okay? Your soul is ageless. Your soul is timeless, okay? I've had many lives. A lot of other people have had many lives, okay? Well, we've had many lifetimes and many bodies, okay? But our soul has that information stored in the Akashic records. Once you get to a certain place, you'll be able to unlock said information about your truest origins, okay? And you might hear about some people doing things like, I just had it at the tip of my tongue. It's called past life regression, okay? You'll be guided, okay, on your journey, but the compass card is out here. It says, as long as you orient your compass, okay, as long as you orient your compass to true north, the direction of your higher power, you will never be lost, okay? So I'm about to read this passage because it came out in the upright, okay? This is the Enchanted Oracle card. And when I tell you Spirit and my spirit guides and my ancestors were speaking to me and convicting me to come up here, I know for a fact I am supposed to be speaking to someone else, okay, as I am seeing this, okay? And that is why I'm here. Like, share, and subscribe. If you are watching this, this is a timeless read. If you are here in real time or you are coming a little bit later, just know that the message hits the same. All right. It says, you are entering uncharted territories right now and can expect wonderful new opportunities and or experiences. To stay on your highest path of your destiny, you'll need to keep your compass pointed to the true north, okay? Only spirit or your higher power can serve this function, okay? The Holy Spirit can serve this function, or your higher power, the creator of all, okay, can serve this function. I'm just breaking it down so you get it. It says money, property, prestige, romance, and other material achievements can't help you find your true path. They are simply things you may experience along your journey. So as I was telling you that I've lived past lives before, and I'm fully aware of that, and I know that I've had money and wealth and material items before, but once you die physically, you can't take none of that with you, okay? But what you can take with you is your experiences. What you can take with you is how you elevated, how you transformed and elevated in the spirit, okay? Your soul gains that, okay? And you never lose what your soul gains, okay? All right, so it said, I didn't even know I was going to channel that, but all praise to the Most High. It says, they are simply things you may experience along your journey. Know that spirit is working in your life. So even if you feel lost temporarily, it will be easy to find your way. Okay. Sometimes we feel a little lost. You may not know which direction you're supposed to go in completely, but you know which direction, but you may not know exactly how it's supposed to look. So I was convicted to get up here because I'm working on releasing control. Okay. Because when you say you walk by faith and not by sight, it's certain things that the Holy Spirit, that the Most High, that your spirit guides, that your ancestors are doing for you behind the scenes in the spirit realm. Okay. That's why you are a team with your spirit guides. Okay. And you're supposed to be co-creating with the divine prime creator, the universe. Okay. I hope this is not going over somebody's head, but if it is, listen to it back, grow, come back, watch it again. All right. You need to trust the journey. Okay. Just like the things that you gain, you might gain a lot of money, wealth, affluence. You might lose it. It's people that are very successful that have had to lose it, and they got it back. They lost it, everything down to the dog, but they ended up getting it back. Okay. They learned that they were the true value, the journey. So once you learn the lessons that you need to learn on your journey, you see things in a whole new way. Yes, you appreciate certain things that you have in the physical realm, but it's not the end all be all, because you are just a enlightened soul, an enlightened, shout out to my enlightened lotuses out there. You are an enlightened soul, and you just have access to certain things in the physical realm because it is what it is. It doesn't make you, it has no effect on your value in the spirit. That's pretty much what I'm going to say. Y'all know I'm a little long-winded. It says, so I'm going to get back to the passage now. It says, know that spirit is working in your life. So even if you feel lost temporarily, it will be easy to find your way. Have faith and trust for your compass. Okay, this is the compass. I'm gonna just show y'all again. With spirit, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your time, your attention, and your energy. It says, with spirit as true north will ensure that you will never be lost. Even on a starless night, when all seems dark, you will find your way. Okay, and I believe I'm seeing in the spirit, I'm seeing a rune. I'm seeing a rune, okay? Rune is known as the Viking rune, but it actually has origins in ancient America, okay? It was a specific rune that they wore, okay, to find their way back home. It was like a protection sigil, okay? A protection sigil, so that on their journey, okay, if you were lost, if you were traveling, if you were going to war, you would find your way back home. Okay, that's what I just saw in the spirit. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, Holy Spirit. That was very clear. And my heart just fluttered. So that is very significant. I gotta get into this because I'm real. I'm honest. If you don't know I'm real now, you know. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day, and I want you to trust your journey, but I also have to be real. I am a Aboriginal American Indian woman, okay? I come from a long line of healers, okay, of spiritualists, okay, of ancient royals, and I am here, okay, to speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, okay? I'm getting this down low, y'all. Give me 1 second. Okay. I'm just trying to see what I'm able to say, but we're going to get into this. So basically with this holiday that a lot of people were celebrating, known as Thanksgiving, giving to this U.S. corporation, this foreign system that is operating on the land of Tamari, okay? This is the land of the continent of America. It is called Tamari, okay? My bloodline as an Aboriginal American Moor of the land, blood rights to the land and to the royal throne. We are known as the Tamarican Indians, okay? The originals of the planet, okay? The old world, the beginning and the end. So with this spiritual Babylon, with this U.S. system, foreign run, okay, on our land that has been stealing from us, that has been taking from us, that have been slaughtering our people, and that is the energy of Thanksgiving, okay? It is the energy of Thanksgiving is foreigners, okay, European foreigners of light and dark complexion coming over here and overthrowing, okay, the original American Republic, which is the people that they like to be that they like to label within this U.S. system as Black American and as African American. Okay, we are not Africans at all. Okay, and we are the original Americans. Okay, and the biblical text, it says that the first shall be the last and the last shall be first. Okay, so we are the original Americans. We are the first sovereign American beings prior to this U.S. system, okay, coming to our land, foreigners coming to our land, playing nice, and then using us, and then locking us out of our American Republic government, and then calling us a bunch of Black people, okay, false labels, okay, calling us a bunch of slaves, when it's totally different when you come to our lands, our home, and kidnap free American Indian people, Aboriginal American people, and then make up laws and rules to get away with, and loopholes, as a lot of foreigners even into this day know about those loopholes, even down to the lowest forms, okay, where they're able to come here and they're able to come here and get opportunity, they're able to come here and rob, okay, the original Americans of basically everything, okay, and then turn around and throw it in our face and tell us we're nothing and we have no culture and we have no origins or no roots, when we are the root. We are the Don Dada. And I had to come up here because this compass, okay, your true North Node will allow you to find your way home. If you are an Aboriginal American, okay, ancient of the, if you are a royal blood or not, but if you are of the ancient bloodline, it will help you to find your way home, okay? And if you are not, if you are a foreign person, okay, that is on your spiritual awakening and you want to elevate yourself as well, okay, the North Node will help you do that. Similar, I had to go through this and I'm channeling and I'm trying to, make this fast, but I gotta get through it. So I'm just going to trust the divine. So basically, when our people were kidnapped, okay, by foreigners of light and dark complexion that were in our lands, okay, trying to kidnap us and illegally, and then make these laws as they were going along after they had locked us out of our American Republic government to get away with it, okay, to cheat us out of money for stealing our land, robbing us, stealing our farms, okay, creating faulty work contracts, that's all that was, with us doing the work we were always doing on our ancestral lands that we were always doing, okay? Agriculture, growing, okay, building. We come from the original creators, okay, and the mothers and fathers of civilization. So there was no Africans needed to be brought over here, okay? We were already here. Okay, our land was here and we was on our land, okay? And so I'm coming out to dispel and destroy the lie, okay? And I'm going to continue to do this. I see YouTube playing with my numbers, but I rebuke you devils in the name of the Most High. All right, let's get it. So, with the North Star, a lot of our people that were with foreigners coming on our land, okay, terrorizing our people was going to war for 100 years and more, fighting the oppressor, going to war. Go look up the Gullah Geechee wars, going to war, tearing their behinds up, okay? They wasn't winning in combat. The only way that they won the war was with a paper war, because they started to write down that we were Black or we were this or we were that, and try to write us out of history or black out our history so that they look like they were the winners when they really was the losers. It was a paper genocide, okay? And when these foreigners also came to our lands, it was 100 million of our people, Aboriginal American Indians, not Black Americans and not African Americans. We are the original American Moors, the original Tamarican Indians of Turtle Island, okay? This is for the people in the back, okay? If you are in America or you are globally connected to America, the influence, this and that, ancient America is connected to the Aboriginal Americans. This is our land, okay? We are the descendants, okay? This Babylon system, U.S. corporation system, run by foreigners, okay, over there in Switzerland, okay, It's a whole bunch of hoopla, y'all. It's a whole bunch of hoopla. That they are considered the spiritual Babylon, okay? Parading around as America, okay? But America is our American land and our soil. It has nothing to do with any foreign-run governments, okay? So I had to put that out there. But also I want to get back to them stealing our free indigenous American women, okay, men and children, okay, and who were free, and then kidnapping them and then illegally selling them into slavery, okay? All of those atrocities have to be paid for. That is why I do not celebrate Thanksgiving. That is a celebration of them murdering and slaughtering our people in many different ways when they first got over here, when they got their numbers up, okay? They needed us the whole time because they didn't have those numbers. And I also wanted to bring out this point about help me, Spirit. I also wanted to bring out it's on the same. I'm just flowing, y'all. I'm channeling, but it's definitely, you know, informative, okay? Because it's a lot of people that are here, foreigners that are here, are people that are ignorant that are here that don't know what the hell is going on, okay? And so I am here to speak the truth. Yeah, a lot of these foreigners, this is not their land. This is not their land. This U.S. corporation is just that, a de facto government, okay? It's a whole bunch of smoke and mirrors and make believe. It's a stage, okay? It's a difference between the United States corporation and the American Republic, okay? I also want to say that. But us as the originals, all of that blood, rest in peace to the 100 million of our people that they were taken out through war and battle and combat, and we were winning a lot of that. They was poisoning our waters as the Aboriginal American Indians to try to take us out. They was slaughtering our animals in certain land masses and areas where a lot of our people depended on the animals to live, and different things like that to create coats and furs, and, you know, using different things of the animal to survive certain weathers and winters and different stuff like that. They were slaughtering our buffalo and our bison, okay? They were doing a lot. They came over here with sicknesses that a lot of these foreigners got from being trifling and not cleaning themselves properly, okay? They didn't believe in bathing and washing themselves and, you know, having a separate quarters for their animals to sleep and them to sleep and having sex with animals, okay? So we didn't have a immune system, okay, to that type of disease, okay, that a lot of these foreigners came over here and brought. So that's another way that they were able to wipe out a lot of our people, because we didn't have an immune system as the Aboriginal Americans of this land, because we were not the same people. We had different hygiene things. We had different places and stables for animals separate from where we lived, okay? So y'all, I'm channeling. Thanksgiving, their Thanksgiving is a day of mourning for the Aboriginal American Indians, such as myself. I am not an African. I am not an African American. I am not a Black American. I am the original American. And my bloodline has been here since the beginning of time, okay? And I had to just say this. Greetings. I had to just say this, y'all, because it's a whole lot of lies. It's a whole lot of smoke and mirrors. But one thing I can say is that when you follow this compass to the North Node, okay, when you follow the compass, okay, to the North Node, your North Node, your highest self, your soul, okay, that was coded language for our ancestors that was fighting against the oppressor and burning down plantations that the foreigners stole from us and then wanted to keep us working in while cheating us and paying us little to nothing, okay? We are on our land. Okay, we're not nobodies. We're not savages. We're the original Americans. And so y'all need to put some respect on our ancestors' names, especially in here on our land, and taking our resources, using our inventions, okay, breathing our air, okay, and different things that our ancestors allow us through the genetic code to be able to bring to the world, okay? I'm riding with my people, my ancestors, and that is why a lot of these towers that is going on in the world today with these foreigners that were, you know, using us and abusing us and trying to take from us and raping our women and stealing our children and, you know, unaliving our people and doing all of these satanic sacrifices, their time and their satanic rulership is over. It's over with now. We know who we are. We are awakening. And I am an old soul. I am here, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing, baby. So, yes, this is the message. Our ancestors also was basically breaking free away from false labor contracts that were forced on them by a lot of these pale-faced colonizers and dark-skinned Europeans, okay? They don't like to talk about the dark-skinned Europeans, but we're going to bring them up too. You know, they like to pretend like they wasn't here, but they were, okay? I'm also going to tell you that our ancestors used cornrows, okay, to show our people, put roadmaps in our people's head, okay, to allow us to go through the swamps and to go through the forests and to go through the tunnels, the ancient tunnels, okay, that our ancestors always knew about, okay? So the Underground Railroad is just, they made up Harriet Tubman, by the way. She's not a real character, okay? They always making up shit, but the energy of, you know, our ancient women and our ancient men saying, no, we refuse to be, you know, prisoners of war, because that's what our people were, okay, in certain instances where foreigners stole our people, okay, who were free, and then sold them into different forms of forced indentured servitude or certain faulty contracts of indentured servitude. That's all that it was. That's what enslavement was. We were not slaves. We were free, organic Aboriginal American Indians that ended up being enslaved. And all of us were not even enslaved. It was a certain sector of our people that happened to. But all, you know, our people on our lands, of course, with foreign invasion, okay, was affected in different time periods in different ways across the lands, okay? I had to come out and say that, y'all. It's one more thing that I have to say. I gotta, you know, my battery is about to die, but I just wanted to come up here and say that. Shout out to the ancestors, okay? An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and if you took blood, we're gonna get it back in blood. That's how we coming, okay? And so all of this chaos and towers that you see going on all across America through this U.S. system and globally to all these foreigners that have been eating off of our dead carcass spiritually when we were spiritually unawakened and asleep and unaware of who the fuck we were, okay, it's payback time now. It's payback time in every way. Also, our ancestors, with that tale of following the North Star, our ancestors was telling us to follow the North Node. Find your way back to your soul. The North Node is also represented as the Great Mother, the Holy Spirit, the Creator, the Prime Creator. Okay, trust the Spirit. When in doubt, test the Spirit. When in doubt, trust the Holy Mother, trust the Heavenly Father, trust the Creator to lead you through. To lead you through. That's our ancestors was telling us, keep your faith, walk by faith and not by sight. That's what our ancestors was telling us. Follow the North Star, the brightest star, okay? Find your way back to your home, yourself within, because see, we've been on our ancestral lands the whole time. But see, these foreigners, they were forcing Caucasian Jesus on us. They was forcing imperialism on us, forced religion on us like they did the rest of the world. But they had a vengeance when they were doing it with us, because they know that we are the holy people, okay, of a specific bloodline, and that we are chosen. So they wanted us to be indoctrinated a little bit more than our bloodline, okay, globally, the Mayan branches, okay, y'all? Shout out to the ancestors. I love my ancestors as well. Shout out Miss Felicia. Definitely, I'm sending the love to you. I remember your name. Definitely, I'm sending the love to you, and I'm just channeling. Make sure you go back and watch the video, y'all. But the North Star is the brightest star in the sky, okay? The North Star, the North Node. Follow the Holy Spirit, follow the Holy Mother, follow the Heavenly Father, follow the Creator back to your soul, okay, which is a soul retrieval. That's spiritually. Once you make it back to your soul, you already, your way is, you already are going to be able to read the signs on what is coming from the Most High, what your ancestors want you to do, what your spirit team wants you to do, okay? It becomes clear. It's like a language. It's symbols, okay? You start to grow, okay, in, your awareness, okay? Of course, you have to go through several, you're going to go through many spiritual awakenings, and you go through the ego death, the dark night of the soul. You go through all of that so you can find your way back to your soul, okay? You have clear connection. We don't have to go to women or men to get to speak to the Most High. We could go directly to the Most High. All right, when you get to a certain point, okay, and even when you're not at that point yet, okay, still continue to pray to the Most High. Still continue to call on certain angels to make sure that your prayer gets there uninterrupted. Okay, we are the holy people. When we open our mouths and we speak, things shift. That's why they wanted us to think we was African, so we wasn't connected to our land. That's why they wanted us to think that we have us out of our mind and our own ancestral home, so that they could still harvest our energy, have us afraid, have us out of our mind, so that they could take all of that energy that they themselves don't have the genetic code to even be able to steer the ship, if you're catching my drift, and do things to go against us because we were giving these people our prayers. We was giving their deities our prayers. We're no longer praying for our enemies anymore. The ones that look like us and the ones that look different from us. We are no longer accepting their truth as the truth. We are no longer accepting the lie as the truth. We are here to destroy the lies. And this is why these towers are happening on the planet right now, y'all. The gods are awakening. We had different names since the 1960s. Absolutely. We the only people on the planet. Felicia, that's a wonderful point. We're the only people on the planet that they've changed our names millions of times, labels, not our names, millions of times within this system. First, we was Indians, okay? Then they labeled us Negroes. Negro is synonymous to Indian, okay? Because it's the same, okay? We're the same, you know. It was all synonymous because that's our true identity. So it was interlinked. Then they started calling us black. Then they started calling us colored. Then they started calling us Black Americans. Then they started calling us African Americans. It might be a little out of order, but they keep coming up with names to throw us off because they have to keep on blowing smoke, because if they leave us alone too long, they don't want us to start connecting to our land, okay? Connecting to our ancestors, connecting to the, you know what I'm saying, to the cosmos. They know how powerful we are. If you see this, I know it's a little dark. I'm turning light on. I turn the light on, y'all. If you see this Buddha sitting right here, we are of the Buddha bloodline. You won't even know that. You would think that a lot of new humans to the planet who are known as Eurasians, you would think that they are the original Hindus or the original people of Buddha. No, the original Hindus and the original people of Buddha came from ancient North America. We the beginning and the end, y'all. That is exactly why everybody hates us so much, but they want to steal from us because they know deep down that we are the Don Dada. Our people are the original people of the Americas, North America, Central America, South America, so-called Mexicans. That name of the land, it wasn't even named Mexico for them to be Mexicans. It's 200 years old, okay? Yucatan, okay? We are the original people of the planet, and America is the old world. So the only way that these foreigners were able to win, to rule, to finally have something from all, you know, because prior to taking from us, they ain't have shit. They ain't have no real culture. They didn't have no real lineage other than degeneracy. They didn't have nothing to be proud of. So in order to destiny swap with us, we had to be the black people in this U.S. system, and all of these foreigners could be white. White is not even synonymous to people that was pale. They just told us that. But Africans come over here and be labeled as white. Somalians come over here and be labeled as white. Asians, dark-skinned to light-skinned Asians come up. Everybody can be white, but the Aboriginal American Indians, which is us, who they always love calling us Africans or Black Americans and African Americans. We're the original people of the planet. Nothing don't move without us. Nothing moves without us. They need us for everything. In our ignorance, they are using our energy. They're using our ignorance to harbor, to siphon and to harness, okay, our energy, okay? The American dream is the original American's nightmare in order for you to come over here and be fake Americans to get a piece of our pie. The original people of the creating pies, okay? You get what I'm saying? The original mothers and fathers of civilization. This is our identity. And we are global. Our ancestors have ruled the world way longer than this wicked system has been on our lands. Okay, y'all? So I'm popping it. for my people, for my ancestors. Rest in peace rest in peace to the fallen, those that were fighting, our warriors that were fighting, our women and men warriors that was killing these daggone devils, coming over here trying to take from us, trying to steal from us. That's why they left us for last. They didn't leave us for last by no reason. No, they knew what they was going to get when they was coming here, and they got that. They just started lying and cheating and writing us out of history and making the faces pale and locking us out of our governments. This is all ours. The American Republic is ours. The original so-called Black American woman that everybody loves to hate. Yeah, the American Republic was woman run with males as well, with integrity. So we're not nobodies. We're not just somebody that they grab naked and afraid off of the coast of Africa. That's a lie. I rebuke that. Okay. And a lot of the pale faces and Black Europeans, they were the ones that were on the ships, by the way, as well. Look it up. You don't got to believe me. Look it up. The world knows, but they want us to. It's just the foreigners that come here. They get paid from having us in ignorance. They get paid from arming and aiming up against us and making us feel like outsiders on our own damn land. How about that? Now that the chickens have come home to roost, and now all of that shit that the U.S. government gave you off of our fucking creations, off of our backs, off of us building. Yeah, well, we're the original Americans. We were, before you foreigners were here, we were building for ourselves. Whew. They like to leave that out. Oh, they built everything and they didn't get anything for it, bitch. What the fuck are you talking about? It all was ours. The only thing that changed was us directly benefiting off of all the work that we were doing and our land and our resources. That's the only thing that changed. They wanted to destiny swap, pretend to be us, use our expertise, our skills, our labor, every aspect to keep everything moving and running, because they did not have the capabilities to do it on their own, and then label us as a bunch of fucking Black people and lie about our history, and then continuously over time give out all of our resources to every foreigner, Tom, Dick, and Harry, coming from across the world with nothing to offer in their own homelands. They could not be great without this U.S. system stealing from us and using our resources, our land, our energy, our currency, our fucking inventions. Let's talk about that. They love talking about the degeneracy and this and that. Okay, well, we know who the real degenerates are as a collective. All these people that forget where they come from, and then they come here and get resources that are not theirs, that this government siphons from us, gives to them, and then turn around and make it seem like we ain't nothing and we ain't shit. Well, shit, we still alive. We survivors. We done been through shit that a lot of these foreigners of light and dark complexion both put together would not have survived. We are the chosen people. We are the holy people, and we are on our ancestral lands. And all of this lying about us, talking crazy about our ancestors as if our ancestors was nobody and a bunch of slaves, when their people, a lot of these foreigners, was nobodies and a bunch of slaves. We're not going with that narrative anymore. No. We had a long, rich history before the enslavement period of foreigners coming over here, playing nice and stabbing us in the back and taking everything. The truth hurts. The truth hurts, but everything that was taken, those of us that are righteous, we're going to get everything back. And that's why they want our people to be out of our fucking minds and to be wicked and to sell their souls for, like Kanye, for a motherfucking Happy Meal and a damn dollar store toy. Okay, that's the energy, y'all. That's the energy. Kanye had to give his mother up for the deal. And guess what? All that money and shit, they showed it with Nick Cannon and with Kanye West. When you start going against Ish, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about when I say Ish, okay? Who control the music industry, the entertainment industry, et cetera, et cetera. They wipe the accounts clean and freeze the black cards. They're slaves. They're paid slaves. They just getting paid more than the average person. So when you start thinking about it, you're like, well, why this specific group of people? Why them? Why these group of people? Because we're the original people of this land, because these are the holy land, because we are the holy people. And so in the kingdoms of darkness, slutting us out for dark forces and getting us to, getting some of our people that are weak, okay, and only 3D minded to sell the rest of our people out for a fucking dollar, okay, they get paid greatly in the spirit realm, okay, because dark forces want our people's energy to feed on. You get what I'm saying? It's different. It's like extorting somebody that is holy. So of course they're going to be worth more, as opposed to somebody that really doesn't come from nothing. Don't come from royals. Don't come from holy royals. Okay, let's put that there. Okay, so it's a difference. They willing to pay and be snakes. Okay, because